This is John Polrai. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan, and as you guys probably know by now, Alec Baldwin has accidentally, fatally shot somebody on a movie set, the movie called Rust he was working on. Now, more and more details are coming out. I saw a couple of different stories about this, so I just want to cover one here that I found to be important, and these articles I'm going to cover are claiming that Alec had nothing to do with it, it wasn't his fault, it was the fault of the movie company and the person who handed him the gun. That information of who that was, I could not find at this moment. So anyway, let's start with the article here, then I'll get into another article. Affidavit reveals Alec Baldwin was told the prop gun was safe to use. Alec Baldwin was told by the assistant director of the film that the gun was safe to use before the fatal shooting. Okay, so I guess if he hands Alec the gun, Alec doesn't necessarily have the skill or the responsibility to check it and do all the proper safety things. I'm going to assume that's not quite his job as the actor. Once he gets handed a prop, he is under the assumption it's safe. Alec Baldwin did not know that the prop gun was loaded with a live round when he discharged it and killed a cinematographer on the set of his film Rust on Thursday. I just can't get my head around why there would ever be a live round in a gun unless you are actually going for authenticity in a movie, which seems like a real stretch, which seems like really, really unnecessary to go for that complete level of authenticity. Anyway, news outlets have obtained an affidavit submitted by the investigators in a Santa Fe court stating that the actor was told by the assistant director of the movie's production that the gun was safe to use. The AD had shouted "Cold gun," pointing out that the weapon was not loaded with live rounds right before the fatal incident, stated the search warrant document. So that's the claim. The claim is he got handed a gun and he got some false information. Sounds fair? Sounds fair. The discharged weapon was one of the 3 prop guns that were prepared for the shooting. The 42-year-old director of photography, Halyna Hutchins, was severely injured in the incident when the bullet hit her in the chest. Hutchins was airlifted to the hospital, but she could not recover from her injuries and passed away. So, there you have it. That's the official story right now that the company's giving, and I don't think this would be intentional. People have told me Alec has a history of being mad, getting crazy, losing his temper, but I just can't equal that with this incident here. There's got to be a little bit more of that if I'm going to actually think something like this was deliberate or he lost his temper and he knew about it. This here seems to me to be probably what happened. Now, this article here also is on the same topic, obviously, and they say the set and the conditions of making the movie were absolutely dog shit, as one worker puts it. Hours before fatal shooting on Alec Baldwin's Rust, a half-dozen crew members quit to protest work conditions. Don't sound so good. Hours before a shot on the set of the Alec Baldwin film Rust killed cinematographer Halyna Hutchins, a half-dozen camera crew workers walked off set to protest conditions on the film after days of strife over long hours, safety issues, and staff housing. In a series of scathing comments on Facebook, crew member Lane Looper described the working conditions on Rust as absolute dog shit. And there you have it. So it would make sense that on such a really crappy film set with crappy conditions, that an accident like this is more probable to happen. At the moment, I'm fighting to get my crew on this movie hotel rooms when we go long or are too tired to drive the hour back from location to Albuquerque, camera operator Lane Looper wrote. They either say no or offer a garbage roadside motel that's used as a homeless shelter. In fact, the line producer on the flick complained the motel she booked charges her $10 more per night than the homeless. They haven't even paid the crew a proper check. That sounds really bad. You're making a feature film with a well-known actor and you're treating the crew like dog shit, as they put it. Well, knowing that, I think I'll take a pass on this movie like I'm taking a pass on Aquaman 2. like I'm taking a pass on pretty much every movie except the occasional one that comes up, like once a year. So, there you have it. When I first saw the story, I thought it was going to be, pretty quick in the news. It would be resolved pretty fast, but it seems like a lot of details are coming out, and there's still a lot more to know about it. I found this a good start to keep going and continuing on the story, just to get an idea about the work conditions and to get an idea about what was going on when Alec actually got handed that gun. You guys, let me know what you think down below. On a quick note, I started a GoFundMe for a new PC for this channel. I want to give some thanks to the people who donated. That's coming up really soon. I'll get to it. And if you want to donate, link is in the description. Check it out. And if you're not subscribed here, well, consider it. And if you consider it and still don't subscribe, guess what we said, but I'll get over it. See you next time.